so good. We are going to have a fun after party, but before we do that, let's have a little chat. I'm so excited. All right, Juan Pablo Di Pace, come on down here. And you can get closer too if you want. Yeah, just be careful. And then Oscar Morgan, who played Alex. And I think you two will share a mic if you don't mind.
We will. Is this on?
Oh, flip it on.
Hello.
There we go. Well, first off, Juan Pablo, how are you feeling? This movie is out in the world finally. It's been 3.5 years of this process. So beautiful. How are you feeling though?
Good. I feel good. I feel like I
feel naked. It's all yeah, exactly.
Burst. Yeah, I feel good. I feel really good. It's like you say. It's been a long, not just 3.5 years, but actually Andres Pepe Estrada, who plays Paulo in the movie. No, sorry, not Andres Pepe.
You flipped it, yeah.
I flipped it.
Yeah.
Basically, Andres, who co-directed with me, we met in high school 30 years ago, and then he became a film editor, really prolific film editor. And I became an actor, but since then when we met, we were sort of like the geeky guys in the school that did all the video stuff for the school and lovers of film. And back then we said one day we're gonna do a film, we're gonna do our directorial thing together. And so this is it. This is a long time coming, and I'm happy that we get to share it in cinemas. In cinema.
It deserves cinema. Who cried? Who had a tear? I mean, come on. I've seen it. It happens every time. I'm like, Oscar, I'm gonna come to you if you don't mind passing. What was it like for you to take on this role, knowing how important it was to him, and how important it was to this story within a story?
Yeah, well, I think when I was auditioning and when I was going through that process, there was a lookbook that I'd received that had, pictures of, there was a dressing gown and some various things to give an idea of this character, and then there was a person that was appearing in those pictures, and I was like, okay, I wonder who that is. And I guess when I arrived in Duino to shoot the thing, JP gave me this hard drive with loads of footage on it from 97, 98, and that's when I think I really, realized just how much it meant to you. But there was definitely like we were aware that we were making a fictional character as well. It's not completely. I think I had a lot of freedom. You gave me a lot of freedom to kind of just run with it and be freaky.
Yeah. One of the things that is totally accurate, which we just saw, is your sideburns really were that long. They were. That's a good question though, because you and I have been friends, and I don't even know how much of this is actually 100% true. How much would you say, out of 100%, is exactly really what happened?
I would say that the past is pretty accurate. I took a lot of inspiration from things that happened, but because I really wanted to, as a first film, to have ownership of every single detail, character, feeling, place, relationship. This kind of, in fact, one of my exec producers who's here, Margaret, I was talking to
Where's
Stephanie.
Margaret? Yeah, I was sitting right next to her, yes.
So I was Margaret and Stephanie, two of the exec producers. And anyway, I was shooting Dashing in December.
Peter Porte's here.
Yeah. And we had a talk about, like first love and all that. And I started talking to her about, mine happened in this school in Italy, and there was a tape involved, and my mother came to see me, and da da da. And I just finished the story, and she was like, well, that's a movie. You should write it. And so it kind of sort of came from there, and I, of course, embellished real things. So it's almost like a Russian doll.
Story within a story, then there's a movie about the story.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I don't know. I mean, a lot of people in my life were in this movie. My mother.
I know. I was going to say, spoil that. You have a lot of close friends and family that are actually in this film.
Yes. So basically, the lady that you see that plays my mother is my mother.
The one that was crafting at the end. Yes.
The artist.
The
yeah.
artist.
And
yeah.
that's her piece.
That's incredible.
Yeah, but she also was the artistic director of the movie and the costume designer. So yeah, and my father was transport. And yeah, I mean, Andres, my best friend. So it had a lot of my people in it. Terry was makeup from Fuller House, you know, and just Guillermo. We did a short before. Guillermo Calona, my producer, my right hand, who, when we thought this was going to be made, we were going to make it for like, I don't know, a fraction of what it actually cost in the end. You know? And then it was like, oh, making a movie is more expensive than we thought. So yeah, I feel very supported throughout.
And I have to say, it literally looks like it was, I mean, it's so beautiful, the way it's shot, like, and it's incredible. It looks like it was $1 billion, you know, it's incredible. Oscar, coming back to you, how did you get into the headspace of realizing, you know, kind of capturing this first love that may or may not have actually been, you know, a romantic love in return, or maybe it was, we don't really know. You know. Right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
And Alexander, at the time that I play him, don't think knows either. It's, you know, it's a really deep, amazing friendship, and yeah, it's super special. How did I get into the headspace? I mean, me and Santi we kind of experienced we are super close friends now. We've kept in touch. We speak every single day. Yeah. It's been years, even though he's in Buenos Aires. It was easy for me to have that with him. But in terms of was there anything between Santi and I? No. Unless there wasn't. Yeah.
Can I just say something to that?
He's like, I gotta add to that.
No, because I remember, you know, when the kissing scene happened in the bed, the dream sequence, I came up to them and I was so embarrassed. I'm like, I am so sorry, guys, that you have to do this, because, you know, it's just really exposing, and it'll be quick, just one take. And they both kind of like looked at me like this and just went, JP, you don't need to apologize, we read the script. That kind of sums up. They just went at it, and I was like, oh. Cool.
They could cut like 20 minutes before.
And shout out to Amanda Lenker Doyle, who cast this person, who's here. She did an amazing job on casting.
I completely agree. It's so good. Let's talk about the VHS camcorder stuff, because it was obviously an element, a style, the way you shot it in the film. How much of that actually still exists, like in real life?
Like the footage?
Yeah.
Well, at the end of the movie, that's real.
That's the stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's about an hour and a half, and it was taken because, aside from the conversation about making the film with Margaret and Stephanie, I went to my parents' house, I think in 2020. I was staying with them during COVID, and I discovered this tape. And I saw the tape, and basically it was the tape the day he got expelled. And so I'm sitting there watching this tape, and all of his friends that day were in the day room of the school, basically saying goodbye, but laughing with him, and it was almost like a wake. And we stayed up all night, and we sang, and so just watching that tape was kind of so painful. It felt like I shouldn't be watching it, you know. And so this idea of almost voyeuristic, something that's voyeuristic, which VHS for some reason has that.
Yeah.
I don't know why it is, but it feels like you shouldn't be watching. Right? I just thought, you know, to use that narratively would be really interesting, because, you know, the Italy and the beautiful work by Devin Doyle, who's our director of photography, who did it incredible on this shoestring budget. And to capture that sort of magnitude, beauty of Italy, Buenos Aires, but it's still sort of dreamy. So for me, when we come to the VHS, it's almost like a slap in the face. It's like, oh, this is the record, the actual record of what happened. So I don't know. I just found it. Andres and I really played around with that and the timelines and the different mediums, which it's kind of like a ball of yarn.
Yeah, no, I loved it. Like I said, a story within a story, and there's a movie being made about the story, 3 different versions. Oscar, I love, at GLAAD, we are always pushing and hoping that films like this exist and get made. Obviously, it's in theaters, and we're hoping for an even more expanded release at some point. What do you hope that people that watch this, hopefully in the theater, because that's what we want, but anywhere, what do you want them to take away from the story?
That's a great question. I hope they enjoy the film, and I hope that it maybe highlights how similar people are, aside from our, economic or cultural differences, where we are and where we come from in the world. I mean, this is the whole message of the school, the United World College. It's about creating a micro world. So yeah, I suppose that's it.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'll take the same question. I just love that people can connect. That's it. That's why you tell stories, is so that people can either see themselves in it, or through characters that are completely different from them, they can feel something similar that they're going through. And yeah, I mean, talking about the college is a real college, it's a real place. There's 18 of them in the world. They're called the United World College. I went there when I was 17 and changed my life, because that's where I kind of discovered. I came out of my shells, almost like artistically too, but I really wanted the film to start there because it's a really unusual place. I mean, it's sort of like a bubble of this international community of kids that descend from all over the world, 80 countries, 200 students, 80 countries. And it was created by this man called Kurt Hahn after the Second World War. And he wanted to create a place where kids at that age, where they're still non-judgmental, they can be together and talk about their differences and cultures and share their language, beliefs, everything. Because he believed that that would stop war. Like, to listen to each other talk, even if we don't agree, would actually make the world better. I don't think we're there at all. In fact, I think we're, heading in a really weird direction. But so that's also made me want to start the movie there, because I do think that there's these pockets of hope, and it's good to see them. It's good to see like young people, just of all races and cultures, kind of be friends and hang out and shoot the shit. So it was important for me to do that. And when I asked the college, can I do an establishing shot outside? I won't bother the school. The director said, no, you can come here and you can shoot the whole thing here. And they basically opened the doors for the first time to a film crew in this place, because you don't want to bother that microcosm. It's really a microcosm, and it's quite sacred when you are there. So I got Oscar and Santi to come earlier so they could be students. So basically the students kind of adopted you guys. And so you went to class and you were like playing the piano with them and partying with them, doing things I didn't even know you were doing with them. So that they could feel and they could like immerse themselves.
Yeah, exactly. It sounds like we need Duino for adults all over the world right now, right? It's like, but wait, I have to go back. Tell me a little bit, Oscar, about that experience of immersing yourself and becoming one of the students, literally.
Yeah, it was so much fun. I think I came maybe 10 days prior to the first shoot day, and we rehearsed sometimes. We'd meet at like 10 p.m. Like JP would be like, he would text me like, come to the hall at 10 o'clock. That's not his voice.
Apparently it is.
Come to the hall, and then there'd be him and Andreas and me and Santi, and we would have come from some hangout with the students, and then we'd be doing some rehearsals. We had so much time, it felt like, to get into the world of the story. But then, yeah, I mean, I was being ushered around by all these students, Santi too, and there was an amazing music department there. They had all these instruments and grand pianos, and we'd spend a lot of time just hanging out there. And I mean, this town is so small, but it seems also like an entire universe in itself. They got a bowling alley, they got a cafe, and that's about it, really. One cafe called
With
Mickey
chicken
Mouse.
and pasta.
Yes. Patapolo, yes. And yeah, what else is there to say? I mean, it's such a
Stuck in time as well.
it's completely stuck in time. This place, yeah, no set deck was required for the school. I don't think, right?
Very little.
Very little. It's comes in handy that they haven't modded it at all.
It's amazing. It worked out for you for sure. But last question before we get to the after party. You know, we see the film version of Madi, or the older version. Sorry, the film version of you. You know, struggling with the process of making this because it's so close, it's so personal, and it's emotional. It's hard. How did you actually navigate that yourself, making this?
You mean acting and directing and putting my
Yeah, and also
life
just
up
like acting and directing, but also like opening up your, you know, your inspiration. It's inspired by your personal life, but I mean your personal story. But you know, it's a lot of emotions to reopen up.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, you know, I didn't make it for me. I made it as a film because I did think that it was, even if it happened, you know, it's a real thing that happened in a time and a place. I also felt it was a story with a beginning, middle, and end, and you know, twists and turns. And of course, with Andres, we really kind of went to look for those sort of Easter eggs throughout the film that we could kind of take in directions. But I don't know. I thought for the longest time that it would be really difficult to direct and act at the same time. And it was not. It was actually quite liberating because the acting was it was the least of my worries. Like, oh, I have to act? Okay, sure. And all the other stuff, the deciding, the contracts, the locations, the people, the casting, that was the hard stuff. And you know, for those who are creators, Jeff Franklin, I'm looking at you. You know what that responsibility of all the decisions are. I mean, it's a lot, but I don't know. I think I would do it again.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Maybe not with my life anymore. That's it. That's no more.
Last question. Sorry, because I don't want to not bring up Norman Lear being a producer. I mentioned it in the intro.
Yeah.
Incredible. I would love for you to just talk about what it was like to have that kind of validation and support from someone like him who's had such a prolific career. And you also know, which is great, but I mean, it's...
Yeah, it was just a lucky accident. Brent Miller introduced me to him. He was his partner, and they read the script and they came on board like immediately, and they said we want to be exec producers, and this was really the last film that Norman watched in a cinema before he passed, which kind of is mind blowing to me at Sony. And at that, I remember that day, I think we had lunch or something, and yeah, he said something along. It was one of those situations where you are in the edit and everyone has an opinion about what the film should be. And he was like, don't listen to anyone. This is your movie. So just do whatever the hell you want with it because it's your legacy. And it was nice to hear that from someone like him. Because yeah, you can get pushed in different directions when you're so invested and you know you value people's opinions. But that's one lesson as well that I'm learning. I'm still learning it because as an actor, actors we want to please. We want to be liked and applauded and whatever. And filmmakers, I think it's the job to listen, but also not to give an absolute crap also about what other people think, because ultimately it's your it's your heart, it's your baby, it's how you want to say whatever you want to say that matters, the point of view.
Good words of wisdom. Well, listen, both of you were so excited to continue to celebrate with you across the street. But yeah, everyone, one more time before we forget.
Thank you so much.